So this used to be a dairy farm back in the day, and it was actually it was a very beautiful dairy farm. My husband he went to Upper Pittsgrove School, and they used to drive by on the bus every day, and he would come past this farm and he'd just look at it like, oh, I want to have something like that someday.
Oh,
so
cool.
It's kind of funny how life works, but yeah.
His family is farmers in this whole area.
Yes.
Because it's a pretty well-known name.
Yes, yes. Yeah, and he just kind of like always had it in his mind that he wanted to have a farm of his own someday. So, he started him and his brother started their own hardscaping business, and then, like the stars aligned, things just kind of worked out. And right. I guess if you work hard enough, you make things happen. But yeah.
And like you said, you keep adding to it.
Yeah, that's it. Every year, I mean, it's still kind of evolving. Like, we started focusing on the meat, and kind of COVID really made us realize, that people are starting to know that, that our food system can be threatened. And, the best way to make sure that your food system stays secure is to source your food locally and to support those local food systems. Because, you buy from our farm, you're not just supporting us, you're supporting other local farmers too. Because if we, for whatever reason, we need to get something from another farmer. I mean, we get some cattle from another farmer or something like that. Like, you're helping other farmers in the area. If we don't have a piece of equipment, we have to rent it from another farmer. Okay. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of different ways where supporting local isn't just supporting that one family, you're supporting multiple local families. Our butcher they're two small family butchers. So you're supporting not just us, you're supporting two other local families, small family businesses as well. But yeah, so these are the grain bins. That's just where we store our corn. Gives us an opportunity just to dry everything down and store it. And that's where my husband gets the corn from for mixing the feed. So this is an experiment. So that's another thing. Like, we're constantly trying to see like different ways that we can maximize our ground and make ourselves, again, more sustainable, and also get the most we can out of the work that we're putting into the soil. So it's not just corn growing in there. There's actually also a cover crop as well. And that cover crop was able to grow before the canopy kind of closed in on the corn. And once the corn is taken off, we'll be able to move the cattle out there much faster, because there's already, the idea is to keep a living root system in the ground at all times. That, helps protect the soil, like gives the soil an armor, also helps with eliminating erosion. There was huge puddles out in this field at one time, and now they're almost completely gone. There's still a couple pesky areas, but
right. I see it all the time when I'm driving an empty field. It always has low spots that are full of water.
Yeah, and honestly, there's like a lot of issues with having standing water like that too. But also just having a living root system and keeping the ground acting more like a sponge. That's what we're working towards. So it kind of helps with being able to move the cattle through as well. So a lot of what we're doing, like, we have a lot of permanent things on the farm, but a lot of things we also can move around and have different uses for it. So what was an old wagon, my husband attached shade cloth to it, and so we have portable shade for the cattle. And they don't really have a way to cool down. So it kind of gives them a break from the sun, and we move that around.
It's basically a cow pergola.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So that gets hooked to the four-wheeler, and he'll move that every morning, and then we'll move them and give them a new section to graze every afternoon. This is the first time.
Yeah. So you got the fence here and the fence there, and then you can move it down as they're grazing.
Yep. So and then. We actually ran water line all the way down this fence line, and so we can just move. It's an automatic water, so that services all them just fine. They it keeps up with their water intake, so they actually get really nice, fresh, clean drinking water at all times instead of like a big tub.
Literally grown right here.
Yeah.
You harvest it, and then David mixes it.
Yeah, we store it, and then and then he mixes in like minerals and things like that. I can show you the bags of mineral, and that's just to make sure that they're getting a complete diet and getting all the nutrients that they need. You know, like with chickens, I mean, they're producing an egg every day. Like they, you know, require certain things in their diet, and we just want to keep them as healthy and as possible. I mean, sick animals are open to, you know, infection and illness, and you know, we just want to keep them healthy and happy, because ultimately that benefits everyone.
So these cows are getting ready to go to the butcher.
Yeah, so they're getting ready to go to the butcher in the next couple months, and what we, you know, in the last 3 months, so basically they're out on pasture until like the last, you know, few months, and then we bring them up here, we give them a full diet. We make sure that they're getting all the nutrients that they need, and they don't really have to work too hard for their food, and it gives them a really nice marbling, a good finish. And you know that's what we're looking for, is to just provide our customers with a consistent, high quality product year round that's fresh, and you know, you can come out here and see exactly how they lived. So everything that they're eating, you know, is from our fields. And down to the grain mixture, and they get a very minimal amount of grain, but it's just the grain mixture and everything is, you know, controlled, and get a nice high quality product when we're done.